Hey guys, what's good? Today we're looking at unseen footage of Caitlin Clark scoring 22 points in 2 minutes versus Iowa men's practice. Now, I normally have started off doing music reactions, but I also like politics ever since Trump got in because it opened my eyes, and then catching all the stuff that's going on and how dire and how serious it is to vote, because we can't let anyone like Biden or any of these global elites back in. So my channel is going to be all over the place, and I'll get settled in eventually, but I'm going to do a little bit of everything. Why not? It doesn't have to just be one thing. Anyhow, let's hop into this, see what we got here, guys.
This is wild. Caitlin Clark revealed on the David Letterman interview on Netflix that she scored 22 points in 2 minutes versus the Iowa men's practice team. And now we get to see the unseen footage of it, and here's her speaking about it as well.
So we have a practice team that's just all guys. They have to be students at the university. They basically just volunteer their time, and I think we were down 15. So we make a couple threes. We cut it to 10, maybe.
And see, I'm not even into sports like that. Definitely not the WNBA. I've become into the WNBA because of Caitlin Clark. I mean, literally, Angel Reese made her biggest mistake by doing that right there. That right there just destroyed her career, and anyone that tried to foul, poke eyeballs, knock them to the ground, all of their careers have just gotten destroyed. Caitlin Clark is a beast. I mean, she can run with the dude. She may not, I don't know if she can dunk. Like I said, I'm not into the WNBA, but everything I've seen about Caitlin Clark is amazing. Like, this girl, she trains like she's Patrick Mahomes, or like she's the old dude from the Nuggets. I mean, Golden State Warriors, Steph Curry. I mean, she is up there. She's like a Larry Bird. That's how I take it. Because Larry Bird, he had that, to where he knew where everyone was on the court, and he could pass the ball, and he was a clutch shot. I mean, I'm telling you, he smoked everybody.
I don't even know.
Now, when you say we make a couple of threes, was it you, or was everybody making threes?
It was me, but the points went to the Iowa Hawkeyes. So I think I had 22 points in 2 minutes was the moral of the story.
I'm sorry.
We had a high school girls basketball team there that day. So we had a little audience, and we were up in our practice gym, and they were jumping out of their chairs, going crazy. Usually I never react when something like I hit a big shot, or I do, but never in a shocked way. After my 5th 3 in a row in a minute, I was like, oh my gosh, I couldn't believe it. I was running around, and we ended up winning, and our boy practice players didn't hear the end of it. They still don't. I still love to bring it up to them. We talk a lot of crap, so.
Well, that right there was just a little clip of this.
At some point in every sport.
Damn it. All right. Anyway, that right there. Hell, let's let this play. We'll go ahead and watch this one too.
A figure emerges who redefines greatness and transcends even the legends who came before them.
And Vincent the Bird, and it goes!
Are they comparing her to Larry Bird? I just got done saying.
Elevated the game for an entire decade.
What is this label?
But even amongst these icons, an even greater legend emerged.
I'll put the link to both of these down in the description.
MJ. Oh, Harry did it!
Yeah, I remember those days, son.
These players dominated the best of the best, and just when you thought they'd reached their peak, they would deliver a performance so legendary that the only way to explain it was that they were possessed by the basketball gods themselves.
Allez, faut continuer à aller voler les ballons, et ce diable de Curry qui nous fait mal.
I just mentioned that motherfucker right there too, damn. All right.
Well, in 2023, Caitlin Clark's rise to stardom was undeniable, with her name spreading like wildfire throughout the entire basketball universe.
Why the NBA hadn't embraced this girl and let her take it to the full potential is beyond me. The NBA is one of them rich white folk motherfuckers that are damn trying to make everything about race. That's all they ever do. That's all they ever do. And Jesus Christ, hop off that train.
Caitlin Clark. Caitlin Clark. Caitlin Clark. Caitlin Clark.
We're talking 40-point games, triple-doubles, and leading the entire women's college basketball scene. And
can I point out, Angel Reese, he just said triple-doubles, but it wasn't from getting her own rebounds from a 5-foot or less shot, which you miss at least 3 out of the 5 you shoot, if not 3 out of 10, because your percentages are horrible. And I ain't one to talk trash, but because I ain't no basketball player. I played it when I was growing up. Man, I'm only 5'8", and I'm white. I can't jump. But I'm telling you, Angel Reese, you act like a giraffe out there that's learning how to walk.
In both points and assists. The numbers were out of this world. It was like a glitch in the Matrix. But on March 26th, 2023, something unimaginable unfolded. It was the Elite Eight of March Madness, the deepest Caitlin had ever ventured in the NCAA tournament, and the brightest stage she had ever stepped onto in her career up to this point. Anyone would be nervous. Sure, it wasn't the championship, but it was uncharted territory for her, a moment big enough to make anyone stop and realize just how much was at stake. Well, little did Caitlin know that on this cool spring day, she wasn't just about to play another game. This was the day she would literally transcend from a mere rising superstar into a basketball god.
Clark sings it all. That's a ridiculous pass that she makes look so casual. Clark will fire and hit! The walking highlight reel. Caitlin Clark has 21 points and 7 assists in this half.
In 2021, during Caitlin's freshman year, her journey ended in the Sweet 16 against the heavily favored UConn Huskies, led by standout star Paige Bueckers. In 2022, during Caitlin's sophomore year, her season came to a shocking end in the round of 32 against Creighton. The 10th-seeded underdogs stunned the nation by upsetting the 2nd seed, ending Caitlin's hopes for a deeper tournament run. In 2023, Caitlin conquered the ghost of her first 2 seasons, breaking through to the prestigious Elite Eight. There, she faced off against the Louisville Cardinals, led by Haley Van Lith, a fiercely competitive guard known for being made for March. Haley, another rising star with deep basketball roots, had once been named the nation's top high school guard and ranked as the 2nd best player in her class.
Second.
And only a year earlier, she guided her team to the Final Four, accomplishing what Caitlin Clark had yet to achieve. Regardless, Caitlin and Iowa entered the game as the favorites, boasting a 29-6 record. However, Louisville wasn't far behind, with a solid 26-11 season. It all came down to a single game, where, as Caitlin had painfully learned the year before, anything could happen. In the unpredictable world of sports, underdogs can shock the best, and this matchup was anyone's for the taking. The stage was set, and the world eagerly awaited to see how this story would unfold. It all began with a barrage from Louisville, led by their star Haley Van Lith, who fueled her team's fast start with 8 quick points.
Van Lith thought about it, will pull from 2, and hit!
I can't read minds, but I'd bet that in those early moments, Clark knew one thing. If her team was going to win and advance in this tournament, she would have to be nothing short of extraordinary. And that's exactly what she did. After falling behind by 8, Caitlin Clark put on her Superwoman cape and ignited a comeback with 7 straight points to cut the deficit to just 1.
Now quickly, Clark connects on a 3, 7 straight from Caitlin Clark.
Sue Bird, a legend at the Climate Pledge Arena and often thought to be Larry Bird's daughter, despite no relation, was also in the crowd, getting her first ever look at Caitlin Clark's talent up close.
Sue Bird finally getting to watch Caitlin Clark in person.
Sue Bird was impressed too. Sure, this wasn't a Golden State Warriors game, and Caitlin Clark isn't Steph Curry.
But that crowd is full, and I've seen a couple of clips of the WNBA, and it's never, it ain't never like that.
But come on, the comparisons are undeniable. Like, just look at the way Clark commands attention, pulling defenders towards her with the same gravity as number 30 himself.
Did you see all the defensive attention that went to Caitlin Clark off of that on-ball screen?
Anyway, up to this point, the game had been an absolute spectacle, with the stars from both Louisville and Iowa putting on a show.
The Stars flourishing early.
Yeah, they've come to play. Haley Van Lith, Caitlin Clark combining for 13 points.
If it seemed like Caitlin Clark was already on fire, though, the truth is, she was only warming up for the volcano eruption to come.
And oh my! Caitlin Clark, a showstopper!
That girl got
The
range,
energy in the
yo.
arena was electric, and it was clear this was a game destined to be one for the ages. I mean, just look. Caitlin Clark is pulling up from 3 feet beyond the arc. It's no surprise NBA players were
Now
comparing
knock
her
off
to
20
Steph
of those
Curry.
and give out 5 shots. Angel reset. Make it.
one was Steph Curry.
Anyway, the Iowa superstars showed no signs of slowing down, relentlessly attacking and doing it all on the court.
That pass looked relatively easy. That is a tough pass to make on the money.
By that point, it was obvious to everyone in the arena, Caitlin Clark woke up that morning and chose violence.
I thought he was going to say
A 9-0
excellent.
Iowa run. Clark, the engine driving it.
They are horrible about calling any flagrant fouls, any fouls, period, for Clark. Why? Because it's all paid and bought for, man. I tell you, man, the way politics and these rich elites have gotten their fingers into everything is despicable.
As the second quarter began, Caitlin Clark was far beyond warmed up, dropping her 18th point of the game. By now, Louisville knew they had to get the ball out of her hands. They threw double teams at her every time she touched the ball. Unfortunately, that only played into her hands, opening up the floor to dish out perfect passes, setting her teammates up with prime scoring opportunities. Now, take a look at this bucket from the 7:44 mark of the second quarter. At first glance, it seems like just another regular basket. But believe it or not, this was the first time in the game that Iowa scored without Caitlin Clark either making the shot or delivering the assist.
First points of the game for Iowa that were not scored or assisted on by Caitlin Clark.
Yeah,
What's
that's
even
sad.
crazier, though, is that Caitlin Clark still managed to notch the hockey assist on this play. No matter what Louisville threw at her, double teams or not, they simply couldn't contain Caitlin Clark. To them, she was unstoppable. Louisville's head coach, Jeff Walls, was visibly frustrated as his team struggled to slow her down. But honestly, what can you even say to your players when Caitlin is out there doing things like this?
Clark will fire and hit! The walking highlight reel, Caitlin Clark.
Caitlin Clark was in complete control, doing whatever she pleased, whenever she wanted, and it felt like the game was slipping away from Louisville. But Haley Van Lith, the star guard on the other side, raised her game just as Iowa eased off the gas. And in modern basketball, no lead, no matter how comfortable, is ever safe. In the blink of an eye, that double-digit cushion vanished, catching everyone by surprise. Van Lith led the charge in Louisville's comeback, chipping away at the 12-point deficit. And before anyone in the arena could even process what was happening, the lead had dwindled to just 1 point. Now, I can't say for sure what was running through Caitlin's mind at that moment, but if I had to explain it to a 10-year-old, it's like she entered a cheat code, typed in power overwhelming or something, and turned on God mode. Because in the next few minutes, just like that, she took over the game and became unstoppable once more. From beyond the arc, at the rim, at the foul line, or even dishing out assists while being
That
double
girl
teamed,
is insane,
Clark
yo.
was doing it
She's
all.
a beast.
And Louisville had no answer. She was so elusive that Louisville's defenders
Try
were left
harder.
scrambling, crashing into cameramen in their desperate attempts to keep up.
Cameraman got
Knocking
hit
the
there after
cheerleaders
the
over.
bucket.
In just one
How come it's all girl cheerleaders? For a guys team, you don't see a bunch of dudes out there, so why ain't that a bunch of guys for the damn women? It's because guys support the damn WNBA, and it's more men out in the crowd than there is women.
quarter, Caitlin Clark turned that close 1-point game into a commanding 20-point lead.
Damn, son.
All anyone could do was sit back in awe watching the Golden Girl put on a performance for the ages.
33 points, 8 rebounds, 10 assists, and 4 steals for Caitlin Clark, who continues to pen new chapters in college basketball history.
And then came the grand finale in the fourth quarter, where she channeled her inner Game 6 Clay, leaving everyone just absolutely speechless. By this point, Louisville knew their chances were slipping away, so they shifted gears, trying to slow Caitlin down with more physical play.
To set up their press, that's why it's called.
Clark gets
that's bullshit, bro.
On the pass.
Caitlin didn't respond with physicality because her focus was locked in more than just the win. There was something greater within reach.
And that's how she's breaking these schools.
A 30-point triple-double in the NCAA tournament.
History was just 2 rebounds away. A 30-point triple-double in the NCAA tournament, something that had never been achieved before. Yet, remarkably, Louisville was still fighting tooth and nail, determined to keep the game within reach in the final minutes.
This is now doable. Down 10 with 2:12 to go.
But just like before, the moment they showed signs of life, Caitlin Clark shifted into another gear and crushed any remaining hope of a comeback.
Wow.
The Cardinals put on a strong fight. Their star, Haley Van Lith, delivered an elite performance with 27 points on just 19 shot attempts. But unfortunately for them, Caitlin Clark was just operating on an entirely different level. She transcended into basketball greatness, achieving something unprecedented in both men's and women's NCAA history. A 40-point triple-double.
Wow.
As a 40-point triple-double in the...
Dude, that's amazing. That's my first time ever hearing this. Like I said, I don't watch WNBA. Or, to call it. I don't watch girl basketball, girl sports. I barely watch men's sports anymore due to all the damn woke bullshit they put in it.
The Elite Eight.
The performance she delivered in this game and the way she executed it will be discussed in NCAA basketball circles for generations to come.
Remarkable.
Next time this happens, it'll be never, ever. The first one to ever do it, and to do it to this extent, it'll never die down, ever. It'll never be beat. If it is, it'll be a long time before 100% real biological woman, shouldn't have to say all that, actually does this.
Absolutely remarkable.
With this win, she secured her first ever trip to the Final Four, but more importantly, cemented her place in basketball history forever. Caitlin Clark has delivered countless performances worthy of the history books, but if there's one game that elevated her legacy above all the others, it's this Elite Eight showdown against Louisville, the night she ascended into basketball immortality. What's surprising, though, is that despite all her college fame and the legendary impact she's had on basketball, especially women's basketball, Caitlin Clark still faces a lot of hate. In today's WNBA, the haters have been relentless.
They're jealous.
And if you want to understand exactly what I mean and see how it's playing out, be sure to check out this video where I break down everything in detail.
I'm telling you, man, it's pathetic. I ended Caitlin Clark's rookie season. Yeah, right. That's why you ain't nothing. But anyhow, guys, I hope y'all enjoyed. I will have all the links in the description for both of the videos. I hope y'all all have a blessed day, a wonderful night, whatever it may be. I will catch y'all on the next one, guys.